Well, if you look at my car right now, I'm completely covered in snow. It's almost like this freaking little snowpocalypse is going on. I can barely see anything. Maybe I'll do a little time lapse of me cutting down the snow. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason that cars have heaters. Is so you can pull all this stuff off. But for me, I'm too worried my car's not going to heat up. It has too much of a thick layer of ice on it. So I'm just going to be cleaning while I'm going to be talking today. And I'm going to be talking about, maybe you'll see me in the back window as I slowly get used to things being clean. I'm going to be talking about growth and how in periods of time you can have limited or stunted growth. At least in my case, I'm wanting to grow a lot. I'm wanting to grow really fast, but I'm stuck here cleaning my car off. So what does that mean? What happens afterwards? Since I'm cleaning my car, doing all this stuff, it means I can't make videos. It means I can't go to the gym if our gym is closed. So what does that mean in the long haul? Well, to me, it means my goals and my progress are being stunted, which is something that I hate. I hate just sitting back in my dorm and chilling, but chilling to the point where it's not as fun anymore. It's not like I'm chilling because I need the break. I'm chilling because I have to have the break. And I don't want that. I want to be able to go and do the things that I want to do, make videos I want to make, and not just be stuck on my computer or anything for a long time. And even college, a lot of people, myself included, get very thankful when you get a time off from college, or when you're able to not focus on that as much, not focus on classes and a bunch of stuff. But at the same time, it's the start of 2025, and so that means I can't start the year exactly how I want. It gets off to a slow start. It gets off to a start where I'm doing remote classes again, which is not something that I thought I would ever have to do again after COVID. And yet, here I am, getting back on Zoom meetings, getting back on other things, and it's kind of wild. It brings me back in a lot of ways. Some ways that are good, some ways that are not good. But it makes me question a bunch of different things. Question the experiences I had in COVID. Question what college is about. Question, I don't know, just a lot of stuff. I've had a lot of time to sit and think, which I like, but at the same time, I'm ready, you know? There's a lot of videos of me talking about my progress, but I'm not able to actually have the ability to get out and do it, which is crushing for me, because I feel like if you're all talk, then that makes you kind of a worse off person for it, because you get to this point where you only think about talking. Oh, that is a huge sheet of ice. You get to this point where you're only thinking about talking, and you're not actually doing the things that you need to do, doing the things that require effort, the things that'll help you change in a lot of ways. And to me, I think that's just, it's a crying shame. It's a big tragedy. It's a big tragedy to be a big talker, but have nothing else to back it up on. Because then you become this character that's like the boy that cried wolf. This person that no one really trusts. No one has an affinity for. No one's like, hey, look at this dude, he's making moves, because you're no longer grinding in silence. That's something I've thought about lately. I definitely don't want to quit YouTube. I love YouTube. It has so many benefits, and I love being able to talk to you guys and create this new outlook for myself. But at the same time, it means I'm no longer grinding in silence. It means there's a part of myself that isn't the same as it was before. It's not this completely sheltered person. It means I have to go through the process of making these videos and different things. It means I have to be more mindful about stuff. In my mind, I think it helps me to grow more. I think it helps me to be better with what I'm doing. But in a lot of ways, some people might not like that. And in a lot of ways, it makes me question, because I like it, but why do I like it? What are the parts of it that I maybe don't like? Or what are the parts of it that make me should be not liking it, like should be wary, but I'm not? Like, obviously, I try to protect my privacy and everything. I try to make sure there's a life of me outside of YouTube. Obviously, I'm not going to do this thing if it causes me to reject and neglect other things in my life, like relationships with my family, with my friends and stuff like that. I'm not going to let that stuff fall to the wayside. But where is I going with this? When I'm doing all this stuff, there is that aspect of like, oh yeah, if you're going to be a creator, which is, I don't know if that's what I consider myself. That kind of sounds kind of weird to say, but I guess it's kind of true. If you're going to consider yourself this creative person that wants to make content, that wants to be into this videography stuff, you're going to have to go through some sacrifices, and you're going to have to be okay with having yourself characterized as this weird person, this person that is going to go to maybe a few parties and not fit in, this person that's going to go out into the world and maybe turn some people off that you really would like to meet, which is something that, you know, I've had to experience at times. I'm not saying that YouTube isolates you from other people. That's very melodramatic and definitely not true. But I consider myself the same as a lot of people and different in a lot of ways. And I think the differences can get to people sometimes. And certainly, when I'm sitting in my dorm room, nothing to do, it gets to me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be open and honest with you guys. There's moments where I'm like, why am I doing this? Why is this part of my life that I want to get sorted out? Why do I get frustrated when I can't be making a video, or when I can't lift or stuff? Doesn't mean that I don't have other things. Doesn't mean that I'm not working on other, goals like language learning, or, trying to get my bread up. But it does mean that when you're missing an avenue or a hobby, there's this little sinking feeling, this little pit that opens up. And I don't know if any of you guys can relate to that, or if that's only a me thing, but it certainly feels to open up at certain times. Maybe when I'm feeling lonely, maybe when I'm feeling cooped up. Probably mostly when I'm feeling this cooped up, this sense of I have nothing to do. But I don't consider it boredom, because I've been reading a lot. I've been catching up on a lot of video games. I've been catching up with a lot of videos and shows I've been wanting to watch. And, that's something that I also kind of wanted to talk about, is that I don't think I've been bored since middle school. I don't get bored. I don't see how people can get bored, because you have the whole world at your fingertips, but not really just that. There's so many hobbies or avenues for self-expression and stuff that you could have, that how could you get bored? How could you not want to open up a book? Or how could you not want to go out and film a video? Or how could you not want to work out, or different things? And I guess what I've learned, especially with my video talking about loneliness, is that there is a lot of reasons that people can be bored. There's a lot of reasons that people feel like they're held up in their lives with depression, with anxiety, with a bunch of different things that I might not have considered before. And it's something that really had me thinking a lot. It's something where I was like, okay, there's all this stuff I don't know. And it's not like you can put labels on other people, because a bunch of people are going through stuff that you might not have even considered before. You might not have even thought of at all. And I think I discovered a lot in the process of making that video. And that's one of the reasons I'm so grateful to YouTube, because I figure out all this stuff all the time with people sharing their stories. And just through the act of sharing stories of mine, talking to this microphone, setting up a little camera, just yapping for a little bit, I can connect with people in certain ways. I can connect to struggle. I can connect to reward and happiness. I can connect to anger sometimes, boredom, frustration. Like the frustration I'm feeling now, it might connect with some of you guys, because you might be going through similar, like a similar feeling with the snow. But I say that in the same way I'm going through stuff right now, and that I'll eventually get over it, I say don't give up, because there's always going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. And I know eventually I'm going to be able to get back to the gym. It's not going to be closed forever. It's not going to be like I'm hitting this creative and weightlifting rut forever. It's just extenuating circumstances. And that doesn't mean that I'm losing steam or that I'll never be able to get back on the horse. Of course not. Sometimes it may feel like that late at night, early in the morning, when you're tired, when your emotions are getting the better of you. But it's just a feeling. Sometimes you have to fight the feeling compared to reality. And maybe that's just what I'm going through right now. The feelings versus the reality. Which one, oh whoops, I almost hit my camera. Which one makes more sense? Which one is more active in my life? I don't know if that makes a lot of sense, or if it's just a lot of yapping, but that's basically what the vibes are for the day.